Welcome back to another day of art fun. We are continuing with our Fiber Friends today. And we're going to be making some Fiber Friends art paint or yarn paintings. So let's get our supplies all out and ready to go so we're ready for this fun project. First and foremost, we are going to need a piece of paper. I'm going to be using a white piece of paper, but really any light color would be okay for this. We're going to want a pencil, scissors, glue, yarn, make sure you guys can see all that on here. And with the yarn, you might choose to just have one color, or you might choose to have more than one color. So if you want to have them all out so you can make that decision as we get going with this project, you can do that. And we're also going to want our watercolors. And you can see I've got my watercolor paintbrush and water ready to go there as well. So those are our supplies for today. But what are we making? Let's check it out. So like I said, we're continuing that theme of our Fiber Friends. So we are going to be making these yarn paintings out of them, but you get to choose the animal. I'm going to be making a frog, just like this one in the example here. And this one, as you can see, is mostly done, but I could still be watercoloring in all those different sections. I'll show you that part later. But you could really choose any animal that you want. So one of the earlier ones I made was a kitty face. We just want to make sure that whatever we choose for this project, we make it nice and big because we want to make sure that our yarn is able to make those turns. So we want it nice and big and not overly detailed. We want to keep it kind of simple for this because once again, anywhere that we draw a line, we are going to be going over it with glue and yarn. And that's when it can get a little tricky if we've got lots of tiny little details. So let's start from the beginning. Instead of using a pencil, I am going to be using my Sharpie marker because I want to make sure you guys can see it on the screen. So thinking simple, big, open lines here. I'm going to start off with those froggy eyeballs. And as a reminder, if you need to pause or rewind any part of this video, if it goes too fast, feel free to do so. So I'm just kind of drawing those eyes together. I'm going to just color in some pupils here too. Right away, I won't be using yarn on the pupils, but just gives it a little bit more of that, those lifelike characteristics if we add that in there. There we go. So this is going to be the part that I add the yarn to, right here. Once again, I'm going with a real simple outline for the face here. Kind of looking off to the side a little bit. Maybe even add some little nostrils for a froggy if we want to. And let's see, I'm going to do the frog body next as well. Simple shapes, big rounded shapes kind of works best for this. No sharp corners. But I do need to get my froggy leg in there, so let's see, we're going to go big old bubble back leg and those big old bubble toes as well. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. Big old froggy toes. Good for hopping with, right? And then the froggy tummy, we're going to add that just with a kind of a rainbow shape right there. And I know I could be adding so much more detail to this, right? If I was just drawing a picture, I'd want to add the other feet. I'd want to add in, you know, maybe some spots or shading or the tongue sticking out. For this, I'm just going to keep it simple though. Really nice and simple. Because this next part is where it does start to get a little bit higher skill based. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my glue and I'm going to just do one section at a time. I'm going to start with around the eyes. And I'm basically going to trace over that pencil line that you just made with glue. Make sure we have enough of it that the yarn will be able to stick to it. Hold that up so you guys can see it a little bit better. You see how there's just glue? Outlining that. And I'm going to choose whatever color I want. I'm going to go with blue for this example here. And I'm going to find the end of my yarn. And I'm going to start right in the middle here, I think. And just start kind of tapping it down You might get a little glue on your fingers, but that's okay. I always think it's kind of fun to pick off the dried glue later. I know not everyone likes that, but I always think it's kind of fun. Which is interesting, because I don't really like getting my hands too dirty, but I guess when it comes to glue, I'm okay with that. Alright, just filing it around here, following the line, and once I get it back to the center, I'm going to grab my scissors and just snip and try to make sure it looks like they come together as neatly as we can. And you might need to play around with it a little bit if the line moved around on you. Put something like that. And then we're going to go again. So now, let's see, maybe I'll do the head next, kind of glancing off to the side here. And we'll get that. So once again, I'm just kind of going over my pencil marks with the glue. If you want to change colors and different sections, you can. So now, since this is part of the frog's body, right, it's the frog's head, I'm going to use green because that's kind of more of a froggy color. But you can also do, you could do any color really. If you want to have a purple cat, you go ahead and have a purple cat. You want to have a bright orange dog, you have a bright orange dog. This is art, right? Like, this is where our imagination gets to run wild and we get to have fun. There we go. Snipping that. And just kind of making sure everything looks the way I want to. I can kind of wiggle it around until it looks right. And we're just going to keep on going here, you guys. I'll probably do one more section for this video, just because I don't want the video to take overly long. But if you need to pause it and or rewind it at any point, you are welcome to do so. Alright, getting this other section. This is part of the frog's body again, so I'm going to stick with green here. And following that glue line as best I can. Oh, I need to get a little bit more yarn here. And we'll make that cut again. Alright, and we keep on going. So once again, if you are still working on outlining yours, this would be a great point to pause and to continue on with that. But I just wanted to kind of show you that you can change colors again. You can see here I've got my legs done too, and I did change colors for the tummy. So once you've got your actual animal outlined with your yarn, you then want to go ahead and work on the background. So let's do that. I'm not going to draw the background first. I'm actually just going to go ahead and take my glue bottle, and I'm going to start making loop-de-loops, almost as if it was a roller coaster. And we're going to, woo, big loops, right? We want all these lines to be kind of easy to follow with our yarn, so nothing too sharp. And let's see, can you guys see that okay on the camera? Yeah, I think so, right? And now I can choose, do I want to stick with the same color or do I want to grab a new one? I'm going to grab a new one. I want this to be colorful and fun and magical. Whoop. Got a little extra piece of hair in that. We didn't want that. Okay, so once again, this is a little bit more freestyle. I didn't need to draw that out first. I just did it right with my glue. Make some fun loop-de-loops. And same as we did with our animal's body, we're just going to take that yarn and follow that line, making sure it kind of rests on there. You might need to tap it a little bit, help get it into place. And take as much time as you need with this. If the video is too slow, you can work faster. If the video is too fast, you can pause it and work at your own pace. All those things are good. Here we go. Up, up, up. Got my last loop-de-loop. I gotta get some more yarn though. Oh, come on. Sometimes there's like little bends in the yarn. And it doesn't always want to follow the way you're trying to get it to go. Part of the challenge, right? Makes it more fun. If it was too easy, it wouldn't be fun. So it's always good to have a little challenge. All right, once I get to that end, I'm going to go ahead and give it a snip. And now we've got, well, minus that I haven't done that part yet, but we've got the yarn portion done. This is where you can decide then, do I want to keep it just like this? Or do I want to add some more little fun to it? And watercolor in the background. And you guys know me, I love color, so I'm going to choose to have a little more fun with this. And I'm choosing to watercolor in my animal in the background. So I'm going to grab my watercolor paints out, activate my watercolor cake over here, and I'm just going to paint, paint, paint on in here. Whatever colors, they can be realistic. Obviously you can see for my froggy I'm choosing a little more realistic, right? It's got yellows and greens and blues, colors you might actually see as a part of a frog. Maybe some browns in there would be good too, right? Or you can go totally fun and crazy. And don't forget the background too. You can see I painted some of it over here. Maybe I want to add some fun colors in other spots as well. So you guys can kind of choose how much or how little you want to paint in for your background. But have fun with this, and then don't forget once you're done to come on into the Hall of Frame. Claim your frame by putting in your name. So find an open one, and we're going to get your name down at, woo, there's some fun stuff in here already, down at the bottom. And then go to Insert, Image, and Camera. Hold your cute picture up and take that picture, add it in, and we will share that with everyone. Thanks so much for joining. I can't wait to see you again next time.